All right, welcome to this week's episode of Drink of Ages Radio here on ESPN 97.5. DJ Muskrat's over there. Dan Morgan behind the cameras. He's Tom Painter. I'm John Denman, and we are hanging out at Paradigm Brewery.
Paradigm and Tomball, we're back. I think the first time we came here, you guys maybe had just opened, or maybe it was a couple weeks before, but...
It was very, very early on. So Josh Schwaiger and Chris Juergen is our guests.
What's up, guys?
Tom, I think you were here like a week ago.
Well, I was on the way to our show at Fortress, and so I was just kind of like making the rounds. But
we appreciate you for that. Thank you.
But I think we hadn't been here since like November 2021.
It was.
I think it was right before we opened.
Yeah, it was right before we opened. Yeah.
Yeah, because we there's no bingo going on at the time. We were out there in the open with no one here.
Yeah, there was no one here, and you were rolling around in your boot.
Yeah.
Yep.
You guys were distroing, but you guys hadn't opened the tap room yet.
Correct. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But now look at you. You guys are like 1 year in the tooth, and it's like you guys are putting out a good amount of barrelage for just 1 year, and also the tap room seems to be rocking and rolling.
Yeah, it's been good. We're hustling every day, right?
Yeah.
It's the name of the game. But yeah, the tap room's been solid too. We've enjoyed it. We're in a heavily residential area, suburbs.
Sure.
So our weekends are fairly heavy. But yeah, other than that, we've really enjoyed it, man. It's been cool to kind of create and curtail your, whatever you want to do, in the industry. It's pretty cool.
And other than the strain on your personal lives and being being a good spouse and raising children. Well, I mean, if you don't, you don't have to worry about it at all.
My wife's not listening, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's all right. My children were here child labor, working in the brewery. So
every single one of them, yeah.
But we were talking about this right before the show that the first year, it's your baby, really hard to get away.
Yeah.
We had this conversation before the show. And I was telling Tom that you and I literally had the conversation in the office.
Yes.
Like 2 hours prior of you need to take a day off. And it's hard.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to. Yeah. It's your baby, and you the 90, 100 hours a week you put into it. You just want to make sure it's right and everything's happening correctly. And there's so much passion for what we do. It's not work when you love it that much, and so it is hard to step away, but
and also,
I told my wife
I'll take it. Word, didn't I?
Yeah. It's all right. I called my wife and said, I'm taking the weekend off, so I'm sure we'll have something planned.
Yeah.
She's like,
you're supposed to be napping the entire time.
Yeah. Who is this that's messaging me about taking a week off?
Yeah, hopefully take a nap the whole time. That'd be great. Yeah. Do whatever you want to do. Who cares? Do nothing as far as I'm concerned. That'd be good for everybody. Not in a bad way. I don't mean in a bad way.
No, I know.
Trust me, you need some time.
You need it.
We need some time away. But it is, though. I mean, it's to get to where you guys are and to build something like this, and there's so many moving pieces that constantly requires attention. Even, and to the point where when you take a day off, you come back, you're like, when I get back to work, it's going to be this much stuff now.
Generally, yeah, but generally, it's not that bad though. I mean, that's what we were talking about earlier. I said take the weekend. I'll cover you Saturday, maybe Hood or Craig or cover you Sunday, and things are going to be just fine. Yeah. It's not a big deal, but yeah. So I think finding that balance is probably the hardest part of the business. Having fun is easy. I mean, we get to talk about things that we've created and drink beers with the folks that are new to it, and kind of explain some things to them. Sorry, producer, DJ.
Yeah, but ultimately it's still work, right? Like anytime you have to be somewhere, even if it's like the best job in the world, if you have to be someplace, it's work. It's kind of like this show. I mean, ultimately we're sitting around having beers, talking with people, which is stuff that's you do on your spare time or whatever. But when you have to do something and you can't do something else, it's work. So it's hard to find time to when am I going to do nothing that's unrelated to any of it and mental space.
Yeah. I think shutting the mind down for any length of time is just difficult because even when I'm not in, when we're not in like production mode and this and that, then the mind's always in the, you're in, what's the next thing we're going to create? What's the next idea? What's the next recipe? How do we pull these flavors together? And it never, it never really stops.
It's
just when you think you escape, our text thread starts going off.
Yeah.
Brings you back in.
Not so fast.
Yeah.
John and I have a mutual friend. He's the other owner of No Label and a few other places. His name's Garrett, but he used to live like a minute away from his house. Or he used to work a minute away from his house, so he used to be like, oh, this would be the most convenient thing ever. But then, cut to I'm driving through this neighborhood. I just see him parked 1 block away from his house in his car, just listening to music. And I was like, what are you doing? You're like, it's like your house is like over there. It's like, this is the only me time I can get between work and going home. Which is really kind of like more work. Because he had 2 infants at the time. He's just I just need a little something where I'm not worrying about one or the other. And it's just mental spaces. You need it to recharge those batteries.
Yeah. Sounds like you figured it out.
Well, now he lives 30 minutes away from work. So
He moved further.
so he has a drive and he has podcasts and he can just zone out in the car. Yep. Right? Driving can also be pretty therapeutic.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, so the first year into all this, how do you guys see things are going right now? Because the first time we talked, you guys opened up. Nice system, very beautiful brewery, nice outside area. Delivery trucks. It was like, man, you guys are really jumping in with all this.
Obviously optimistic, right? We feel like we had a really, really good year, first solid year. There's always going to be a ton of work to do, right? So take us kind of out of the mental space of all the 7 days a week of things that are going on. But we're very optimistic. There's a ton of growth in the industry. There's a lot of things that we can do. Just being creative. We've first year here in a restaurant. There's so many things on the horizon, and we're probably divulging too much, but hey, that's what you get for putting us on the spot. But we're going through architecture right now for another building. There's always moving parts. There's always things going on, which is cool. That's the fun part of it, And I think the business in itself, we continue to press forward and innovate and kind of do our thing. We're very optimistic about it. Very optimistic. We're excited. It's gonna be. I think it's. I want to use the old, it's going to be the best year yet, but I think it's going to be the best year yet. I think we're going to turn around again next year, and we're going to say the same thing, and I think the following year we're going to say the same thing.
Hopefully.
This other building, private event space, extended tap room, production. What are we?
Yeah. So we should probably qualify that. Yes. It's a private event space is what we're looking at, right? So we had.
That's called the moneymaker.
Well, so we put roughly, I don't know, between 40 and 50 private events in this space in the month of December alone, without closing, which is.
That's really good.
Pretty tough to do.
Yeah. And think about all the money you could make if you did close.
Well, I'm not even thinking about the money necessarily. It's great. Yeah, sure. Hopefully we'll make money.
But that's the line at No Label too. We're always like, you never want to. I never want to be shut down for a day or whatever.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to make these weird, all right, well, if the brewery's open until 6 or 7, I guess I can live with that. And we close down for a private event.
Yeah.
But
we've avoided closing at all costs. We haven't closed down for any groups that have come in. And I think it's been good because we still have our client base that is able to come in here and do what they want to do.
Yeah,
too.
you don't want to turn away your regulars.
No, not at all. And so we're trying to create a space that's for folks that are coming in and wanting to book a party with us. They're getting they're bang for their buck too. Have their own private space where they can do whatever they want to do. Don't have to worry about folks around them. That's really the key, I think, to it. But we'll see. We're going through everything right now. We'll see what it costs first. We'll leave it there.
But everything always starts inexpensive, then gets more expensive, it gets more expensive, then gets out of your budget. What happened?
Yep.
We just wanted to build a food truck, and now we're building a $2 million facility with a.
That's right. Yeah, but we were arguing with our architect. He's like, yeah, I think it's gonna cost $1.7 million. I'm like, you're so out of scope, bro. There's no way it's possible. Granted, we're in a beer business, right? Yeah. He's an architect. Yeah, he kind of knows a little better, but whatever. We're still gonna argue about it.
Well, you have to. Yeah. It's okay, fine. 1 million. They're like, okay, thank you.
I won.
Yes. Yep. I'm drinking the Hoppy Pilsner.
Oh, dry hop.
Yep. Very, very good.
Awesome.
Wait, that's new. I mean,
Yeah. We just put that on, a week or two ago?
Yeah. Yeah, a week probably. Yeah.
So just a good take on our classic, Professor Pils, man. That's my favorite beer. It's what I drink, and just looking to do something a little bit different. So Josh, I think you actually had the idea. Hey, let's dry hop it and do something cool with it. And so Perle and Saaz are really the stars of the beer, of the Pilsner. So we took that and we hit it with some more Perle and some Strata and some Citra. So we really got that German and American playing together. They don't always play well together, but in this case, I think the Allies came together and
that was a World War II. Didn't play so great together.
So this one really came out nice. It's got almost a pale ale feel to it, Yeah, easy drinking.
I really like it. So it wasn't my idea. It was another brewery's idea. I just kind of commandeered it. They did a really good job with it, so I threw it to you and you executed it. But I really enjoyed it. I think it's incredible. But yes, I agree. It drinks more like a pale ale than a Pilsner, but it still has that super light body and mouthfeel.
Yeah, that clean, crisp finish still. Even, the dry hop flavor's there, but still it's got that nice lager character finish.
Yeah.
So.
And Tom, what are you drinking?
The Unforgotten Blonde?
Unforgotten?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 4.5%. My first beer of the day.
First beer.
This is being very. Listen,
First beer of the day.
Yeah,
it's like 10 p.m. right now.
I had a friend earlier that was at the brewery. He very rarely drinks, and he started pouring himself a beer, and he was like, "Are you gonna have a beer with me?" I was like, "No, got the show tonight, can't do it." He's like, "I'll have a Coke Zero with you," and then he got another beer. I was like, "All right, I'll get a bottle of water," and then he had another beer, and I was like, "All right, I'll get a root beer," and then he had another beer, and then I got a root beer, and he was like, "One more," and I was like, "No, man, this is I'm miserable. I can't do this anymore. I have to leave. I have to go home. This is not fun."
Mad respect, man. Mad respect. That is one of the things that folks don't understand about the industry. They're like, I can drink beer all day. No. It's not about that. And sometimes you need a little bit of breath, right? You got to get away from it a little bit. And it's fine. I think it's great that you're able to do that, and you weren't pressured too bad into having a beer forced down you.
Well, it was the drive here that broke me.
That made you drink.
It was like 3 different smaller accidents on the Beltway. And
Here I am complimenting you.
Yeah. Well, it's nice that you guys have a 4.5%. And you guys have coconut blonde on there too, and you guys to have those lighter offerings are like, okay, I just need a little beer in my system, but nothing too hard. Although then I guess I could get, what was that? It's the waking shakes or the
early morning shakes.
Early morning shakes.
11%er, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Mary from Thistle's here, and she got one of those, and she's like, "Oh, okay.
How is it? Nice. Mary approves.
I tried some of hers. It was really good. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, it's one of those where, not that long ago, we were in Austin, and we went to a bunch of breweries in one day, and so
That was Sunday.
So 2 days ago, and normally, my schedule goes. Weekends, I normally relax on the weekends, and so Tuesday's show, we record the show, hang out at a brewery, all this fun stuff. So beers are involved. Then it turns to like a Wednesday every once in a while, maybe a Thursday, but then weekends usually kind of take it pretty easy. But Sunday we went, it was pretty good. There was a lot of beers to drink.
Yes, we had a Wild West Brewfest show Meanwhile, and went a little. Then it was just like, there's a brewery 5 minutes away. There's another brewery 5 minutes away. There's another. We need to get the hotel in here somewhere, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I find myself looking at how many sober days am I gonna get this week? It's like 3 in a row. I'm gonna feel really good.
Yes, you will.
Yeah, but typically it's hard, because you know how it is. You have a meeting with someone at the brewery. They start eyeballing those taps. It's like, what are we gonna do? Not have a beer?
Okay, let's have a beer.
Yeah,
okay.
Or you one screw falls out of the chiller in the brew house, and then you're like, we can't can't do anything with beer today. What the? I need a beer. Or you get a win. I need a beer. You know, a lot of moving parts, a lot of
celebrate. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's also just kind of the accessibility. When you're just like, oh, you know what? There we go. Got it.
Yeah, it could be worse, I assume,
It
right?
could be worse. Yes. Yeah, but no, let's. Actually, I'm almost out of beer, so
I'll text our bartender.
we'll get some more beers.
John can't see through my mug.
I can't say
Listen, I'm part of the Founders Club, guys.
it's a good-looking mug.
He is, and I just want to publicly say thank you. I appreciate you supporting us for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for that.
Yep.
Beer's delicious.
We'll talk about the Founders Club when we come back from this break. This is Drink of Ages Radio, hanging out at Paradigm Brewing up here at Tomball. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. This is Drink of Ages here on ESPN 97.5. John Denman, Tom Painter. We have Josh Schwaiger, Chris Juergen, hanging out at Paradigm Brewing.
You know, John and I are in a group, a Facebook group that we've been in for maybe like a decade or now or something. And I told him tonight, I was like, I wasn't going to drink. And I was like, all right, I decided I'm going to have a beer and a flight. So, you know, one beer and a flight.
And here we go.
There's an entire case plus a beer like on the table. So are these all your cores?
We got to drink them all before you leave, though.
Oh, of course.
It's our. So the four of them are our core brands. We have Unforgotten, it's our blonde, Precision IPA, Heartland Hefeweizen, and Professor Pills. And then the Barista Blonde is our seasonal right now. We'll be transitioning here pretty quick to a new one. But
Is that the coffee blonde?
Yep.
Yes.
The
Yep.
one,
Yeah.
4.2%?
Yep.
This beer
That's
is
what you-
delicious.
Yeah, that's what you're drinking, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I actually went, so the Unforgotten Blonde's 4.5%, which would seem like a great, safe, this less and great. Like, great body.
Like, little known secret, though, right? I mean, it's in the coffee infused. It's things that you don't think really play well, and it's a really good beer.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it really messes with people's mind when they order it and they come out and they see it and they're like, they expect something dark, you know, and it's still our blonde. It's light body, it's easy to drink, but that coffee up front on the nose, it finishes with a little bit of coffee, but it's still a beer, you know.
Yeah,
and
I like it.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
this is good.
solid.
you condition it on the coffee beans instead of like actually putting cold brew in?
No, actually, so we brew coffee here in the brewery. So we take, take filtered beer and then we start blending, the coffee that we make into it, and we keep going until we feel like it's right. So
That might be like next segment when I need a little pick me up.
Yeah, this is tasty.
yeah, it's fun too when we're brewing, because we're doing like 20 gallons of coffee at a time, so the whole place just smells like coffee. That's all you smell, regardless of what else is going on in here. It's just the whole site smells like coffee. So
And
it's
those
a great day.
they're the best smells, right? Like, so you walk into like brewery, as you're making beer, it's like, it smells so good. But then you walk in, you smell coffee, you're like,
Yeah.
And we're all a bunch of coffee drinkers too.
yeah.
So when that starts happening, like, oh man,
Yeah.
yes, all of us.
We have a partnership with Cat's Coffee, and we do a milk stout with them. But it's always like, whenever it's that time to like, okay, we need to go pick up the coffee. It's like a kind of a trade deal. Like they scratch our back, we scratch theirs. But we go to like pick it up, and then all of a sudden it's like putting people on the school bus. Just like I want to go, because everyone's. Cause it's like when you have a good partnership, like with any vendor or whatever, right? And like if they come to the brewery, they're gonna walk away with cases of beers from the cold box. It's just somehow gonna happen, right? Like, take this, and the same thing with coffee. But then everyone's like, nice Colombian rose. Nicaragua. Okay, I'm gonna take this, and like everyone just starts taking those bags. And
Don't they have like a barista bar there too?
they do.
Yeah.
They have a test lab kitchen where they will like show you all the coffee beans they're working on, and then they have like these meeting areas, and then they have a separate warehouse that is just full of cars, like military vehicles.
Really?
Yes, that's all related to their brand that they will bring out at different points during the year. It's quite the trip. But they have a person, and that's all they do is they entertain people throughout the day and educate them on the coffee, and they have it's a legit coffee operation.
It has to be big. I mean, you see their stuff everywhere between their tea and their coffee.
I would say, the tea is that no one. I would say no one talks about it. Everyone talks about it, but it's in a lot of mom and pops.
Yeah,
which is incredible. But I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't think I see their coffee as much as I see their tea, though. But they're a coffee place. I could be wrong on that, but
we just got one. So we're part owners of a bakery bodega in the Heights.
Yeah.
And we just did not a partnership, but they have a whole coffee program where they'll rent out like a coffee roaster to you, like a touchscreen coffee roaster, and like so we have this 2-head system there, like pouring coffee, all cask coffee, and like. But yeah, we also have drip, and then we also have the tea, which is at Blood Brothers we have the tea.
yeah. Their stuff is solid though. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Need more local coffee and tea roasters, like just like beer.
We have a roaster down the street from us here, right?
Yeah.
Copan.
Yeah, they're on Persimmon, just
right on the street.
I don't know what, half a mile down the street.
Yeah, it's not far at all. I don't think I've had their coffee though.
You need to fix that soon.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. Yeah.
But you can tell when they're roasting when you drive by. I mean, they're not a 20-second drive from here, I've gone there before, right? It's just like a sad story, but I've gone there, and they have like a place you can go in and get coffee. And I went there and it was closed. Like it was like during the week they're supposed to be open, but they weren't. I was upset about it. I wanted their coffee.
Yeah, I've tried a few of their varieties.
No, never. I would never.
Not yet.
Five. You weren't open, but 5 stars.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, we have like Paradigm. We have the Paradigm Coffee Roasters. It's been around for a really long time, and for a while there, they were doing some bottle shares even over there. Just show up like 10 years ago. Show up and people just go there and have some beers. But their coffee is really good, and there's really, like I said, there's not much smells that are better than roasting coffee.
Is this the one that's right next was right next to Backfish?
No, well, I think maybe they were opening another location. This one's right at 35 and 518.
This is like the Pearland Coffee Company, I want to say.
Pearland Coffee, yeah. Somebody was opening up something right there by Backfish.
Yeah, coffee's its own kind of like, much like craft beer. I feel like that's its own kind of like subgenre of like local coffee roasters and like finding that local coffee shop and like.
Well, a few years back, I kind of dove down in the coffee world with Spindle Tap, and we went down to Honduras, which was going to be, part of traveling to a bunch of little different regions for coffee, so we could pick our coffee and everything. And once I saw the amount of work that actually goes into getting that coffee from the tree to your cup, it's like, man, I've left a lot of coffee just sitting there that I didn't finish, and people worked really hard for that, because every bean is hand picked, and it's like it's in a cherry, and the beans inside there is like a seed.
Yep.
And so every single one is hand picked. They don't have machines that run through these places. There's people that are just sitting there picking, and it was. This one, that's something up here you guys need to make out of the cascara, like the cherry part, the fruit part of it. That stuff there is delicious and full of caffeine. That can make a really good addition to the blonde if you can find some of that.
Yeah. Cool.
Yes.
Haven't you done it before? Coffee cherry?
I've played with coffee cherry before, yes.
Say no more. We know what you're talking about.
That was another life.
Another life, yep.
Everybody just stops for a minute and just kind of stares up. Hey, okay. What were we talking about?
Yep, nothing.
Yep, beer.
Yeah,
Coffee and beer.
So coffee and beer, it's works great with stouts, things like that. Just like some of the darker beers. So when you throw it in like a blonde, for some reason those two, they play well together. Especially if you don't have like a hoppy blonde. Like hops and coffee doesn't. They start fighting a little bit.
Yep.
But
they accent each other really well.
Yes.
It gives the blonde a little bit of a bite, and especially, again, like just looking like checking on the ABV. You're talking about a light blonde that kind of gets like it tastes a little more than what it is because of that coffee. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm drinking a Precision IPA, and I'm trying to remember, this has been a few years back, like maybe, I don't know, 6 years. It could have been 10 years. I don't know. The way time goes. But
Had a lot of beers.
yes, there was a lot of beers ago, but it was a coffee IPA, and it was not good. It just was like, if you kept the malt bill high and kept it around 7% or whatever, but not doing the same bittering hops to go with their coffee, and it was not nearly.
You know who it
as-
was? So
I'm surprised you
I
don't
remember.
remember because typically you don't remember the bad beers.
Yeah,
You just try to
normally
forget
not.
them. But if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
bringing this up right now, years ago,
I've said this before with Chris. I mean, Stone made that mocha IPA that I thought was fairly decent.
I mean,
No, but
someone
that
puts
was-
a beer out, it's usually pretty good.
Yeah,
But
I've brought it up before.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a style no one really does. But I thought it was pretty solid for what it was. I mean, for a mocha IPA to be a thing, I mean, it's kind of that sweetness from that chocolate and the bitterness from the hops of the IPA.
The challenge is like you said, it's two different kinds of bitterness. So getting them to balance out and play well with each other, where they're not butting heads to hit that part of your tongue is really the challenge. So everything's always possible.
All right, next week.
the idea,
Well, there went my weekend off.
Saturday.
so much for going away.
it's on the schedule. Yeah, it's. I mean, everybody saw like how many beers. I was like, oh, you got to come up with all these different flavors and throw this and throw that and everything else. And so we saw so many different weird beers, right? What was it? Confesc. I can't even say the name. Martin House came out with one that was basically, if you look
Hot
at
dog
it,
water.
right? I mean, they come up with a lot. So we say Martin House, but this is like right before they really went nuts with a bunch of beers. This one, I think it was called Confesc. It was like maybe a Cascadian dark ale, but with everything the kitchen sink, right? And so it was like barrel aged this, cherry this, something else, and I'm sure none of this is accurate, but and so I ordered a keg, and I was like, let's just see what this tastes like, and it's like it just is not. It's not bad. I mean, it actually was really good. But there was so much stuff like put in it. And I was like, do you have to have all that in there? Do you have to go that crazy with all these extra ingredients to kind of get a good beer? No. And so to see the pendulum kind of swing back to kind of traditional styles, it's fun also. But people make some crazy beers. It's also fun too.
Yeah, I mean, Chris, you give your take on it, but I agree. I mean, it's kind of getting back to the basics of what beer is. I mean, everyone's being creative, but sometimes folks overthink it quite a bit too because they're trying to be the craziest thing out there. But
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times less is more, right? It's taking four very simple ingredients and balancing them out to make something that's just enjoyable. And we talk about this a lot, and I remember my time at UC Davis, Dr. Lewis always talked about drinkability, right? And he's like, anybody can make an awesome beer that you drink one of. It's something special to make an awesome beer that people want to drink 6 or 7 or 8 of, and that's our goal, right? Our goal is to sell beer. So if it's a one and done, well, that's great. But if it's we entice you to drink 6 and pick that 6-pack up and enjoy it, I mean that's really what we're after. So it's a delicate balance of bringing out flavors and putting them together, but not losing focus of what makes beer great. I mean, it's the thing that created civilization. Man's been making beer since we learned how to farm. Beer is why we learned how to farm, because we know we needed cereal grains to keep making beer. So I think it's an homage to that history, to do it and take those ingredients and keep it simple. So, anyway.
You're here on that.
I mean, we've talked about this many times. It's when you go to breweries and even like guild meetings, and every month there's a guild meeting at a different brewery, and all this. No matter what brewery it is, it usually is like, hey, what's the most beers that all the brewery people drink? And it's like, oh, the lightest one that we have.
Yes.
Usually, yeah.
Oh. And it's not really because of the ABV. It's just no, just a good, clean, bring out really good beer.
I mean, the ABV's part of it.
All right, what's the first thing you try when you go to a new place, though? It's usually something like that, right? I mean,
Typically, for a while there, for a long time, it was like, okay, let's try the IPAs. Because I wanted like a good West Coast IPA. Is still my favorite style of beer, but it's like now, show up. I'm like, all right, let me try that Pilsner or whatever, a Cascadian Dark Lager. I'll drink those anytime anybody has it on tap. But then I go look at the menu and see what else they have. Let's get that one beer, light, easy drinking beer first, and then see what else they have.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great way to kind of reset the palate too, and acclimate to whatever brew house you're in, right? Like, all right, well, let's figure out what. But working in a brewery though, it's the lightest beer. It's like what are you drinking? The lightest one, I'm here for quantity, and quality when I can get it. But really, it's
a marathon.
Yes, it's a marathon. Not what's the destination? Survival.
But you bring up.
I have 4 meetings today.
Yeah, you bring up a good point though. Like every brewery has this house character, right? That when you walk into the brewery, you smell and then you taste throughout the beers. It's really, really evident in big breweries. So if you've spent a lot of time in big breweries and you walk into one of the very large commercial breweries, it's evident immediately. You smell that house character. A lot of it's yeast driven, but it's always funny having a beer or two at a brewery, especially if you start with something light like a lager, and then you meet the brewer and they take you in the back and you walk in the cellar and you smell that character. It's very distinct and it's really cool to.
And there should be a consistency to that, not just the yeast, but just the brewer and how he's making that beer and how that beer should be tasting like. Where it all just feels like these are different styles, but somehow they're still in the same family.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah. And if they're not, you're like, whoa, this brewery is are they doing this on purpose, or is this just hit and miss?
Or they just get lucky.
Yeah, right.
It was bouncing around a bunch of different places. I mean, most people nowadays, you go to a brewery and they're making some really good beers. Yeah, good drinkable beers. It might not be a home run or this is going to be the best beer ever, but it's no, that's just a really good beer. And very rare, get somewhere and you're oh, let's try a beer. Oh, no, that's not good. And you're oh, let me try another one. Nope.
Yeah, I feel like there's far more
It's
good
happened
beers
a couple times. Yeah. So luckily, people are. Which makes me think for the breweries that we're at. We were at Colorado one time, a couple years back, and a new brewery opened up, and we went over there, and it's Colorado, right? I mean, there's excellent beers all over the place. Denver area, excellent beers all over the place. So you would think that if it was if you're going to put a beer up, you drink it, and you're this isn't nearly as good as that one, or somebody had to at least say, hey man, this. But no, they put all these beers out, and it was the first time that I never finished a beer at a brewery, and none of them. They were just terrible. But
in Colorado,
yeah. But luckily, we don't really have that around here.
Yeah, or you finish the beer out of respect.
Just we finish out of respect. Yeah, man, this is not bad.
Salty pineapple pretzel lager.
That sounds delicious.
Less is more.
Asian rum barrels.
Someone's going to do that now.
Rum barrels.
Yeah, all right, let's take another break, and by the time we get back, we'll finish these beers and get some more. We are hanging out at Paradigm Brewing. This is Drink of Ages. We'll be right back. All right, we're back for the last episode of this Drink of Ages radio show. Last segment of this episode of Drink of Ages radio show. Yeah, we're gonna end it anywhere.
It's here.
Tonight's gonna be a good night to end it. Drinking some really good beers. But yeah, this is Drink of Ages Radio here on ESPN 97.5. We're hanging out at Paradigm Brewing. Josh Schwaiger, Chris Juergen is our guest. And I don't know, we're looking out in the brew house, talking about, Tom, you mentioned about cleanliness of brew houses and things. And,
very important.
This one's nice and shiny.
It is.
Not just the equipment, but everything around it is still nice and shiny.
you know, it's always nice to see a brewer just kind of like clean the floors, like watering them down. Something like, when I see that, I'm like, I'm in a good brew house.
These guys wear brushes out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll walk back there and just just yeah, it's
Just a sound.
yeah. I'm telling you, it's what it is. It's exactly what it is. I don't know if our epoxy floors can hold up to it,
Yeah.
but they,
The amount of
We start
ceramic.
snapping handles because we're putting so much oomph on them, you know, and just wearing them out. But
If you're ever at a brewery and want to know whether you're talking to a brewer, just look down at their feet and see what kind of shoes they're wearing. Like, if there's some rubber soles, you got your man.
yeah,
not tennis shoes or hey dudes.
yeah. No, hey, dudes.
Different part of the brewery.
You know, that's part of the brewery, right?
Yeah, but out there, you know, where all the magic happens, you know, where the liquid's created. I mean, it is a dirty spot. Yeah, it's dusty, it's dirty, it gets sticky,
Steamy.
scummy. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's
Always wet.
yep.
Always wet, and then you clean something, and a half hour later, it's dirty again.
No.
Clean it again. It's nature of the beast.
But you know, most of brewing is cleaning. So spend more time cleaning than anything else.
And
And then when you're not cleaning, you're thinking about what else you're going to brew.
It's
But-
probably what, like, I don't know, like, what's the percentage to brewing to cleaning? Like,
We always say brewery is like 90% cleaning, right?
Yeah.
You're a glorified janitor is what you are as a brewer. Yeah. So yeah, we talked to people who want to become brewers. We're like, yeah, you know, you think standing up on the brew deck or dumping your hops in, that's the sexy part of it, man. But no one, if you're not in it, you don't understand the
That's
amount of
for-
time that we spend doing
that's
the
for,
dirty
like,
jobs.
collab days and, like, anniversaries when someone needs, pictures?
Yeah.
Oh, who's got that paddle that we've been, like,
Yeah, the shiny paddle.
Yeah. We do nothing with. We just pull out pictures.
It's like,
Yep.
yeah. But, you know, being part of a brewery is also people in the tap room, right? People wear multiple hats. It's like, hey, you're going to pour some beers. Probably going to clean some toilets, too. like, just going to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what we're giving our brewer Justin a shout out. You know, that guy, he's in there and he's filling kegs and trying to wrap up for the day. But, you know, tomorrow we could tell him, hey, you know, we need you to go out and clean lines at this account and go deliver beer to this store. And he does it with a smile and goes out there and gets after it. And that's what it's about in this industry, you know, is going and tackling the day, whatever it is, and doing it with a smile, because at the end of the day, man, we're here to make happiness. And I like to say that a lot when we talk about making beer. We're making happiness for other people, you know. And you sit here and you look in the tap room, you look in a restaurant, you look at a bar, and people are smiling and happy and enjoying each other's company over a beer. That makes it all worth it.
And he's a Marine veteran. Gotta throw it out there.
Yeah.
So him and our GM for our restaurant are both Marine veterans. We're obviously our Marine Unforgotten. We haven't talked a whole lot about him. That's what it was born from, right? It's our support of, you know, all things first responders and military and whatnot. And
Right.
it's very important for us to have those guys here. And these guys are incredible. They're all in all the time. There's not a thing that we would ask them to do that they would say no to or even contemplate saying no to. They've been just incredible people to us. So shout out to both of them on that. I mean,
Yep.
they've been awesome,
Yep.
awesome
Hey,
to us.
careful. Tom's already like, what's their names?
Yeah.
No label, huh?
No. Marines are loyal and hard ass workers, man. But these guys always have a smile on their face, and they do not care what you ask them to do. They're I hate to say, like, for lack of a better word, like, they're company men. You know, it's kind of strange, but they're company men. They just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, we're gonna do it. Who cares? You know, and we love that about them.
Yeah, challenge accepted types.
Yes.
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 Yeah. Oh, something new? Cool.
Cool, yeah.
Let's go.
Hey, you ever get to the point where it's like, I bet you can't do this. It's like,
Oh.
no, don't tell me I can't do it.
Yeah, so all you got to do is tell Rob that you can make something better than him. And he was texting me pictures of tacos he was making yesterday. I'm like, dude, you're off, bro. What are you doing?
I got so much testosterone running through this body. I will not be challenged by the likes of you.
I kind of want to see the pictures of the tacos. To be honest with you.
I'm telling you. Here, hold on. I'm going to pull them up.
I bet you can't make a dozen smoked chicken wings by noon today.
The challenge of putting those two, Marines together with that attitude, though, is like, what did they do? What was it? That one chip challenge where it was that super spicy
guys.
chip.
Yeah.
Those guys are like just eating more and more just to try to one up each other, and it's like, man, I feel bad for you guys.
We need
later.
both of you. Don't die.
I started sending pictures. That was like the start of it. And then he's listening to Whiskey Myers. That's his wife. My wife sent me a picture of his wife. Nothing sexual, I have to say.
Nothing sexual, guys. It's just tacos.
He was making tomatillos.
Taco, like the food.
Tacos,
That's his favorite beer. He had a Happy Hops Days, Spruce Tip IPA that Chris did. Loves it. He's making some tomatillo salsa. I like to think for me, but it wasn't for me, but it was for everybody else. He was.
This is like a legit play-by-play. We're like 16 photos in of the day of
telling you.
making tacos.
Would you eat those?
I did not.
I said, would you?
Oh, hell yeah.
Did you?
No, I did not eat them.
It's hard to find a taco you couldn't eat. And like, and even if like a taco's like, I'm not sure about what's here, but like, it's like, do you guys have Cholula here? Do you have like?
You're at least gonna try it.
Like I can make this better. I can fix this.
Yeah.
Went to a place today, tacos, and down off of 528, like Bay Area Boulevard area, NASA, over there called Crave Tacos. And so my buddy was like, "Ah, man, there's a place I drove by. It's called Crave Taco. Let's, I figured it might be like a Torchy's or something like that. No, man, they were legit, absolutely badass tacos, like straight street tacos. Salsa was on fire, and yeah, Crave Tacos.
All right.
I'm hungry.
Fire.
I'm sorry, man. I
Spicy?
can only think about food. Yeah, like super spicy salsa. It was so good, man.
I used to office next to
sounds good.
the Mexican consulate in the museum district, and they had this taco trucks and deck essentially, and then that was like the place. I just like walking there every day. A lot of people trying to get their visas and trying to get like or whatever, and just like it was like the best. It was like because all they had was like it was like beef, chicken, and then you just pick red or green like sauce. It was like green. Okay. And tacos are delicious.
I know. I'm getting hungry.
Taco conversations are not bad though.
Yeah. And so we've been bouncing around, me and a buddy of mine, on Tuesdays, and we go try a new place. His office is out there by over in Dickinson. So we go to a new taco place every week, and now I guess we're like 30 now. We're the last few months or however long, 30 times 6. And
only tens of thousands
this
to go.
one was this one was definitely in the top 3. Right, there's
Nice.
a taco truck over off like Highway 3 and I don't know, one side road that was phenomenal. It was like, holy shit, this is really, really good. But this one was right there with them.
Speaking of food, I'm gonna try to make this segue as productive as possible.
I'll bring it back to the brewery.
You guys have food, right?
Yeah, we do. Yes.
See, John, that's a good co-host.
That's why you're here.
So you guys have food.
God.
It's not being served now
That is
because you
funny.
guys don't serve food. What, Monday and Tuesday?
Monday and Tuesday.
Monday and
yep.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. And it's like, but what type of food can we expect here?
Yeah, I mean, so we try to say kind of upscale bar food. We've got kind of a mix of everything. Lots of apps, lots of shareables. Our most popular item on the menu by far is our pretzel. People talk about it all. I mean, they won't stop talking
The
about
German chips and queso.
it. I'm telling you, it's by far the most popular thing on the menu. Our best-selling sandwich, our Nashville hot chicken sandwich, which is incredible. We've got our smoked pork belly to Brussels sprouts, which again are all shareables, and then we got a Korean barbecue pizza. It's incredible. Kind of a mix of everything. I mean,
Pulled pork grilled cheese sandwich.
Pulled pork grilled cheese is
you can't go wrong
incredible
with
too.
that.
I mean, it's really good.
That sounds delicious.
When we do loaded fries,
Yeah.
we do loaded queso, nachos.
Okay, nachos are good.
Last time I was here, sitting over there, just having a couple pints, just popped in real quick, and before I left, I got just a whole container of tater tots, just for the ride home. And they were like, "These are some of the best tater tots I've ever eaten in my life."
Tater tots are delicious.
Tater tots
in general.
Tater tots are.
This is like if you've ever been to Sonic, it's like their saving grace, right? Like it's like, you want a burger? Do you want fries? Or like with fries, or do you want sub tots? I was like, tots.
You don't sub like crushed ice.
Can you throw just
Yeah.
a?
Well, so many fast food places don't have tots.
It's
It's
just
kinda
correct. Yeah.
But they'll just throw like a square of American cheese on top, and it just like makes it magical.
Yeah.
After that,
However that happens, but yes. That cheese. But yeah, no, it's our tacos. Getting back to tacos too. We've got a smoked chipotle chicken taco and pulled pork tacos. We had some really pretty unique items for a brewery, and I would say a pretty I don't want to say extravagant menu, but it's fairly vast for what it is. I mean,
Sure.
it hits a lot of different buckets.
People
you know?
will find something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll find something you like. And everything pairs really well with the beer as
Yep,
well.
I
It's
agree with that,
based to it was designed to go well with beer. I mean, that's what it's all about. So
What
Totally agree.
what thing do you think is lacking from that menu?
From our menu,
Yeah.
I mean, I always go for a good fillet.
Oh,
We don't have that.
what type of brewery
I'm
is
kidding.
this?
No, I'm kidding. I don't necessarily think he's lacking.
I'm gonna it's 2 words:
What?
chicken and wings.
Well, so
I'm a fan of them.
I don't know how deep we want to get into this.
We can go
But-
all down the chicken rabbit hole, my friend.
Here's part of what we run into. Like those are fried, right? And a very good portion of our menu is fried. And there's only so many things we can fry at a time. Especially on a weekend, right? When there's 400, 500, 600 people here, and
You have to turn
50,
food.
60, 70% of the food, what they're ordering, because that's the order. It's comfort for them, right? That's what they want. And then you throw another thing into the mix that goes into there. So we gotta be like strategic and make sure that there's things that are in the fryer, and there's things on the grill, and there's things on the char, and there's things in the oven. We gotta make sure there's all these that the mix is the right way.
Fine. Just a single chicken wing night event.
That's why I said, how deep do you want me to go into this?
I mean, because if you need some help, like going over the menu and like what we can cross off to add chicken wings,
Pretzels, get them
pretzels.
out of here.
John and I talk about chicken wings a lot. That's why this is like, yeah.
Dude, it's crazy. We saw like 600 pretzels last week.
That's a good amount of pretzels.
I mean, it's like dumb how many pretzels we sell. It's for whatever reason. I mean,
That's a lot.
they're really good, but still, it's brought home bag. It's just crazy though. It's like it's unreal.
Well, we're talking about like a big buttered salty pretzel, right?
like big, like fills up like the stainless steel tray.
Does it have
right?
some brown mustard or some bitter cheese?
Yeah, it comes with like a stone ground mustard and queso.
Oh, see,
And a beer
oh,
queso.
it's not bad.
So we do our queso with our unforgotten blonde.
all day,
Yeah,
all day that pretzel.
it doesn't suck, right? I mean, could be a lot worse.
yeah, and then you throw a brat on top of it.
Yeah.
That's all you need in life, man.
Yeah, you throw that broad on there, it's pretty solid too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fan of. It's a lot of talk about food.
well, on the way over here, I knew that Mary was coming from Thistle Draft Shop, and I was like, oh man, text her and tell her to bring some chicken wings, because they do have some really good chicken wings over at Thistle.
You didn't bring them?
Well, I didn't. I didn't. I got in traffic because all of a sudden, it started drizzling, so people slowed down at like 30 miles an hour, and I'm like, what? Yeah. So, stayed off the phone, be a little safe, and then I get here, and I'm like, oh yeah, I meant to text
Forgot.
to get some of those Thistle Draft Shop.
We don't have wings here.
wings.
I know.
Yes, my
We
plan
should have
was.
ordered in.
My plan was to get
That
through
was the
Creekwood
plan.
Grill and have them.
We should have ordered in.
Bring some in, but then I got distracted.
Next
as well.
time.
Yep.
Next time. Don't let me forget. We're ordering wings. So shut up.
Listen, I love pretzels. I'm just saying, wings are delicious.
Yep.
Collaboration wings.
I've yet to find a good brewery that has good wings.
You have yet
wings
to
are-
find a good brewery that has good wings?
Who's one? Wings are tough though. I mean, they're like
Oh, yeah.
They're not easy.
Yeah, because
no food is easy.
Platypus has some really good wings.
Do they?
So,
I haven't been there.
They're probably my favorite wings at a brewery.
Out of all the
Platypus.
brewery wings, yes.
Yeah.
Who else? Who else has brewery wings? What other brewery has wings?
I don't want to. Well, now that's
Yeah.
it sets me up for saying some bad things. There's some
say-
breweries that I really love, and
Okay.
yeah,
Well-
no, I can't. I can't.
There are a lot of breweries that do have wings on the menu, but they're just not really that great.
You guys know who you are.
I'm sorry I asked. I'm sorry I asked. No offense to any of them if they knew who they are.
I really need to get back here and try this pretzel though.
Well, I was telling John next time we got to make sure this is on a Wednesday or Thursday. or something,
Yeah, when
that
the
our
kitchen's
open. We'll throw out.
I think
a
Tom
spread.
Tom
I told you that.
told me, he's like, "Hey man, the kitchen's closed. Ask them to open it."
So I had originally intended on it, and Rob was going to come here, but he had to go pick his son up from school. So Rob was going to come up here and help us out and make some things for us.
It seems like you guys have
Yeah.
a. So before, I know we need to wrap up, but but you guys have events because this is like you guys have bingo. It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
and you guys seem pretty slammed,
We
slammed, busy. You know?
We just started bingo. It's been weird. Like we just started bingo Tuesdays and trivia on Thursdays. It wasn't something that we necessarily intended to do, but it's one thing that came up, and folks kept asking for things to do as opposed to just coming here and eating and drinking, right?
So
but it's
run
been-
club, bingo,
yeah.
trivia, all
but
those
it's been-
brewery things.
But it's been fun though. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say we could do it on a weekend. That'd be a bit chaotic. But to have something to do during the week, because we're we gotta live where we're at, right? We're in the suburbs. Just transparently, like, we're not. Our lunch is not crazy, right? Because where we are, it's fine. We're okay with that. We know who we are at this point. It just takes it's a big learning curve when you open a new place, and especially with the restaurants, it's very different. And but we know where we are now, and
Now, I appreciate you guys having us out. Paradigm Brewing in Tomball. Easy drive from anywhere in Houston. It's right up 249. And if you haven't been out here, you definitely need to come check this place out.
appreciate you. Thanks so much, guys.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming to hang
Try the
out.
pretzel.
And get the pretzel.
We heard it's
Get
good.
the pretzel. And tater tots to go. Always a good idea. Now, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this week's show. You can listen to the old one, sponsored by No Label Brewing Company by going to drinkofagents.com, SoundCloud, all over the internet, Apple Music, wherever you find podcasts, you'll find that one. And Tom, next week,
I don't know where
that's a
we
good
going.
question.
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right. Between now and then,
Maybe Excalibur.
yep. Everybody be safe, and we'll see you next week.